Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be looking at why Lucy has already been back to Tenerife and comparing what Ayub told us in the podcast to what he told Mark Williams Thomas when they spoke. So the first thing we are going to look at is this video of Lucy being back in Tenerife in November, which is only 3 months after Jay was found. She seems to be living her best life once again, while Jay's family and friends are still grieving. Now, Ayub says that Lucy was the one that felt it the most. But if that was true, then why is she back partying in Tenerife so quickly after this tragic situation happened? Or maybe she is back to work already, if you know what I mean. Now, I do understand that her family owned property over in Tenerife, but if this case affected her so badly, surely she would be taking more time to grieve before heading back there. It does raise a lot of questions. Does she have to go there for business reasons? Or is she just on holiday partying with her friends again? Also, what job does she do that pays for her to go on holiday so much and take time off so frequently? Remember, she started this GoFundMe in the first place. If she already had loads of money, or her family have loads of money, why didn't they help out with finding Jay? Instead, she decided to start raising money to fund the search. The next thing that we are going to go over is what Ayub told Mark Williams Thomas, compared to what he told Cullen when he'd done the Central Club podcast. I have noticed that there are more lies here.
We know the two men that took Jay back to their rental apartment were key people to speak to, and as a result, I've now spoken in some detail to one of these men, Ayub Kasim, who was known as Johnny Vegas.
So the first point is that Mark says that Ayub was known as Johnny Vegas. But Ayub says in one of his TikTok lives that he has no idea who Johnny Vegas is. So surely Mark would know that he isn't Johnny Vegas after speaking with him. You would think that he asked Ayub this.
I've also identified the other male that was with him, but I've not yet spoken to him. Ayub has provided me with his account of what he says happened on that morning, Monday the 17th of June. He says he was on the strip, Jay wanted to carry on partying, and he said he had nowhere to stay, so he said he could come back to his. They say in the car, they played music and chatted before stopping to get a drink at a cafe at a shop just prior to entering the mountains.
So this is the part where Ayub gets caught out. Because in Ayub's podcast, Cullen asks him if he spoke to Jay while they were driving to the Airbnb. But Ayub says no. Apparently they had already done the talking, and that he was just listening to music the whole way while Jay was on his phone in the back of the car.
Do you were you having a conversation with him as you're driving?
Sorry,
What's he doing? Just sat in the back.
sat in the back, bro, just on his phone and that, innit? Everyone's just on a chilled one, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there weren't no really, but other than, here's a drink and that, like, do you know what I'm saying? We've done all the talking, like, when we was all them Nottingham girls earlier in the night, when we was watching the England game, do you know what I'm saying? Then
This is a problem, because why has he lied yet again? And who has he told the truth to? Cullen or Mark? And that's if Ayub has even told the truth at all. Also, I was thinking about why Ayub wouldn't want to tell Cullen if they spoke in the car or not. Probably because he knew that Cullen would ask about the conversation they had, and what they were speaking about is something that they shouldn't have been speaking about, and it could be to do with the stolen watch, because this is where Jay allegedly took the picture where he says that he robbed an AP watch. Or it could have been about something else. I just don't understand why there are so many lies in this story. It clearly makes Ayub look guilty. There are so many lies, and there would be no reason to lie if you hadn't done anything wrong.
He says he was driving, his friend was in the passenger seat, and Jay was in the back. They say on arrival at the rental, his friend opened the door, went into the left, and went straight to sleep. Jay walked in behind, followed by him, and when gone inside, they went upstairs, and Ayub then said to Jay, "Sofa's yours, here's a towel, here's a blanket, have a shower if you want." Jay asked for a cigarette, and Ayub said, "I've got some Camel cigarettes," and put one on the side. Jay then asked for a phone charger. He said, "Go into my friend's room. He's asleep. Take his charger and you can put your phone on charge." There was no charging point by the sofa. Ayub says he then goes to sleep and he's woken by a buzzer. Ayub says he comes down the stairs. Jay says to him, "What's that annoying noise?" which was the doorbell.
So Mark is basically implying that Jay didn't know what the buzzing noise was. He literally says that Jay asked Ayub, "What is that annoying noise?" But Ayub clearly says in the podcast that Jay was too scared to answer the door. So this would mean that Jay did know that someone was at the door.
And then he heard the buzzer. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I heard him moving, like, but he didn't open the door. So I just like giggled to myself, like thinking, "Oh, he's fucking shitting it down there." I bet, like, do you know what I'm saying? Why didn't he open the door? Do you know what I'm saying? So I just ran downstairs and I was like, "Yo, G," and he went, "Oh, bro, that's fucking wigged my head out, that buzzer, you know?" And then
I still don't know if there was even a buzzer at this Airbnb, because I just don't buy it.
Ayub says he opens the door and speaks to a woman and a man, and they gesture that he needed to move his car.
So I don't know if Mark is just leaving out information or not, but Ayub told us that there were 3 people who were at the door, Ophelia and 2 others, who apparently looked like characters from The Hills Have Eyes. So how many were there? 2 or 3? This clearly wasn't investigated properly. When people are telling loads of lies, it clearly means that something happened. This was not an accident at all. How are we the only ones that can see that?
so not only that, so I've opened the door now, and then there's this woman standing there, which I later to be known was Ophelia, this old man, and then their son, but he's not like a child or anything, he's like an adult son, do you know what I'm saying? And then this geezer looked a bit, I thought, what's going on here? Like, he had a wheelbarrow and his t-shirt was like halfway up his belly, right? So I was like, that's when I said to myself, these look like characters from The Hills of Ice, do you know what I'm saying?
Ayub says he gets into his car and he's starting to move it, and he looks in the rearview mirror and he sees Jay talking to a woman. He's got his trainers on, so he's about to leave. Jay then says to Ayub, having moved the car, the woman says, "I can get a bus every 10 minutes. And Ayub says, he says to him, "Mate, just chill out. I'll drop you off in town when I wake up properly." He went, no, I'm hungry. I need to get a scran. And the woman told me I can get a bus every 10 minutes to Los Cristianos. Ayub says he replies, "There's no bus coming. This is my green door. If you need me." He says he shut the door. Jay walks away and he goes back to sleep. He then says he gets a call from a friend of Jay's who says that he's in a ditch somewhere and he's been cut by a cactus.
So if Ayub got a call from his friend saying that Jay was in a ditch somewhere and that he has been cut by a cactus, then this can only be Brandon, right? Because Ayub says that he didn't know Lucy very well, but we know that him and Brandon are close, so surely Lucy wouldn't have his number. The only person that you would think had his number was Brandon. So clearly Brandon is in contact with Ayub throughout this whole situation. But instead of asking Brandon to talk to Ayub and meet up to find Jay, she turns into a detective and turns up at Ayub's Airbnb by finding his exact location from a bad quality Snapchat picture. Why did she do this? Maybe she didn't trust Brandon, and Brandon didn't tell Lucy that he was in contact with Ayub. Could Brandon have been giving Ayub secret information? And that's why Ayub isn't mentioning Brandon at all.
The evidence still strongly supports that Jay left the Airbnb suddenly, walked for 30 minutes before wandering off-road, where at 08:49 and 08:50 on the Monday he dropped a location pin. However, as part of this investigation, we have sought to identify and speak with as many people that Jay had contact with whilst in Tenerife. The result of this digging has opened up an established criminal network with links to drugs, violent crime and theft. You will appreciate that at this stage I cannot expand any further.
This is what brings us back to the drug situation. Mark has clearly said that while he was investigating this case, it has been involved with a criminal network, which includes drugs. We have all seen the posts about Lucy being involved with selling illegal substances, which could be why she goes on holiday so much. The problem is, we don't have 100% proof that Lucy is involved with this kind of thing. But my guess would be that if Lucy is involved with selling illegal substances, then Brandon is also involved somewhere along the way. He could even be the person that got Lucy into it in the first place. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will update you as we find out more.